Over the last couple of weeks, we've talked about drone regulations in the United States, in the United Kingdom, and today we're going to look at the UAE, Dubai in particular. So stay tuned. Last week I talked about changes to the regulations in the UK concerning drones. This week we're going to concentrate on the UAE, but Dubai in particular. I think Dubai has one of the more restrictive regulations around the world, and let's talk about some of the differences. First of all, there are two categories, private and professional. Let's address private first, but there's such a long list of requirements here. Let me read some of these to you. First of all, the user and UAS drone shall be registered with the GCAA before flying. Nothing new there. All UAS drones weighing 5 kilograms or less shall only be allowed to fly in the approved flying zone, indicated by the various apps in Dubai. Now, they have already established 4 no-fly zones and some green zones, so a little more restrictive than what we see here. Camera usage is only allowed in the flying zones. Drone users must not violate relevant UAE laws while using the camera. No UAS or drone shall be equipped with drop or release devices. Sorry, fishermen. Drones' flying range shall be within line of sight and not more than 400 feet above ground level. So that's consistent with what we're used to. Shall fly only during daytime and in good weather conditions. Still consistent. Shall be used for fun and not for commercial purposes. The user shall be responsible to ensure the drone is used in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions and it is inspected before commencement of flight. Okay, now look at this one though. No user shall fly the drone near public and or private property. Boy, that kind of limits things, doesn't it? I don't know, other than the green zones where you can actually fly over there. No user shall fly the drone within 5 kilometers of airports, heliports, heliport landing sites, and airfields or in controlled zones. Still pretty fair on that. Direct radio control link shall be maintained between the user and the drone. Well, we have to do that anyway, right? But here they've got a frequency band restriction. 29.7 to 47 megahertz max power, 10 milliwatts, or 2400 to 2500 megahertz max power, 100 milliwatts, must be maintained at all times. The drone user shall take into consideration the effects on radio communications and interference of the frequency used. Shall avoid collisions with people, objects, other manned and unmanned aircraft. Okay, still along the same lines as what we're used to. Users shall not harass or endanger people or threaten to damage property. Fair enough. Owners shall be responsible to inform the GCAA through the GCAA website when he or she intends to resell the drones. Now, that may not be clear in the US, but that's also true for us. We're registered through the drone zone with our particular drone, with our information. If it's destroyed or we sell it, we need to change that registration. Drones weighing above 5 kilograms, or roughly 10 to 12 pounds, and or equipped with gas engines shall only operate within the GCAA approved flying clubs. So those are limited. And listen to this, the minimum age to fly drones weighing more than 25 kilograms is 21 years. Okay, we got 16 in the US, 18 in the UK. They do have a weight limit, but now they're saying 21 years of age for that. What about professional use? Well, there's a number of items here too. Let's look at these. First, you have to register the organization to obtain unmanned aircraft operator authorization. Then you have to apply for security clearance. Then you also have to submit a UA operator registration letter. Then you have to subscribe to the GCAAE publication, which costs you about $325 a year equivalent, which updates you on any new rules within the GCAA. Then you have to apply for operational permission for each drone. But here's the kicker, and this is the one I really like. You must have attended training given by authorized training facilities to get an operator training certificate. We're not just talking about a Part 107 equivalent here. We're talking about skills training as well as knowledge of the rules and regulations there. I really wish we would do that. I mean, I taught motorcycle safety for years and we had a skill test. Your driver's test, you got a skill test. So many things around here require skill tests, and I don't know why we don't require it for our drones. Hopefully that will change. Now then, let's look at the penalties. Some of these are pretty severe. Two categories. A term of imprisonment not exceeding 1 year and a fine not exceeding 50,000 dirhams, or about $14,000, shall be imposed on the following: an owner or operator of an aircraft who caused it to be flown without an authorization or permit; any person who has unlawfully piloted an aircraft or has taken command of an aircraft in flight without holding the required certificate; any person who has piloted an aircraft when drunk; any person who has caused damage to aeronautical communications facilities or navigation aids on the ground; a pilot in command who has failed to enter the required information in the documents or records of the aircraft or has altered such information. Pretty tough, right? But it gets worse. Article 70 says, a term of imprisonment not exceeding 3 years and a fine not exceeding 100,000 dirhams, about $28,000, or either penalty shall be imposed on the following: any person who has piloted an aircraft or caused it to be flown without bearing the nationality and registration marks or displaying incorrect or illegible marks; any person who has piloted an aircraft over prohibited areas or has flown over any such area and has failed to comply with the instructions issued to him; any person who has not complied with an order to land his aircraft while in flight over the territory of the state; any person who has caused his aircraft to land at or take off from areas other than the designated airports or locations, or has flown the aircraft outside the designated areas, unless he's obtained special permission; any pilot in command of an aircraft who flies without authorization over the territory of the state and carries on board such things as weapons, munitions of war, or any other items the carriage of which is prohibited under national laws; or persons having the intention of committing an act of smuggling or felony, even if no such felony has actually been committed. So even intent will get you in trouble here. Any person who has refrained unjustifiably from complying with a request from the competent authority to participate, within the limits of the means available to him, in the rescue of an aircraft or in the rescue of a person facing imminent danger as a result of an aircraft accident. So you also have to render aid if required. Say, wow, right? These people are serious. But I think it's a good thing. We got so many cowboys over here in the U.S. endangering people and property, giving the rest of us bad names. I think these are good things. So I really don't have a problem with that. I would say Dubai is probably one of the more severe restrictions and penalties that I've run across. But again, I think it's entirely appropriate. So there we go. Well, I hope you're still enjoying these vlogs. I enjoy doing them. Hope you're learning a lot from them. If you've got value out of them, give me a thumbs up and please subscribe. That way I can let you know about future videos. And if you feel like sharing it with your friends, please do. That would be greatly appreciated. Now each week, I'll end with a video or photo taken by a drone. This week I'll give you a link to a drone video of Dubai. Take a look at it, see how many violations you see in that video based on what we just talked about. And if you want me to feature one of your videos in one of my upcoming episodes, please send it to me and I'll be happy to include it. And thank you for watching.